You're listening to the You Don't Know Me Yet podcast network.
Hey, you are tuned in to Two Gems and a Mic with hosts Tanisha the Diva Mahomes and Linda L.D. Dorsey. Just know, if we talking about it, you need to hear about it. Unwind and enjoy. Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Two Gems and a Mic. I'm your girl, LD, along with my girl, the Diva. What's up, Diva?
Hey, how y'all doing?
We doing.
Oh, we are.
What's up, Darren?
Not much, man. Waiting for this pregame meal from the Chiefs tomorrow night.
Pregame meal.
What's that?
Oh, man. The draft night meal. This the one night a year they actually feed us better than they do any other time, especially on game day. They feed us filet mignon steaks and chicken, baked chicken, potatoes, and asparagus and desserts, and then like halfway through the draft, they take all that out and then bring out burgers and hot dogs and stuff. But
wow. Okay.
Hey, but I got my little Tupperware because I'm bringing me some steaks home.
So that's for the press?
Huh?
That's for the press?
Yep.
Take some pictures.
I sent y'all pictures in the chat. I could have sworn.
No.
I'll put them in the chat. I'll put them in the chat now so you can see what it looked like.
Okay, yeah, definitely. But take some for draft night.
Yeah.
I do all the time.
Okay, because I'm gonna paste myself in there.
Yeah, I don't know about all that now.
You and Linda up in there eating steak.
Yep.
That's why they don't like.
I'm getting Noah to help me out. Do something. Right.
Yeah, you gonna have a jersey on there with a 1 on the front. That's why they don't like us. That's why they don't like AI right now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The number 1 pick. Yeah, exactly. No,
right.
No, send that to me. Send that to me, Darren. Linda
I'm be signing the contract.
I've already put it in the group chat. So this is what they've fed us like the last 2 years. So it's in the group chat. Yeah,
I see it. Looks good.
I know. It tastes good too. You know, I bring my little seasoning, bring my Gates sauce, bring my A1 sauce, I bring all that.
That's what I'm talking about. You bring them that Gates barbecue sauce up there?
I bring it for myself. If people ask me, I'll share it.
Because that's normally what you have at the games, right? Gates.
Well, no, I don't. Well, no. Yeah, my barbecue. Yes, I have that. As long as it's not a noon game, I have my barbecue. If it's a late afternoon or evening game, then yes, I have it.
Okay. All right, we're gonna watch you because we all getting on the healthy kick.
Everybody.
Oh yeah, that's why
we really hold each other accountable right now because football season is coming up, and that's when Wing Ding and everything, Buffalo and everybody that don't need to be in our lives.
All they do is feed me, yeah. And see, and the reason why people joke, the reason why I'm bringing my Tupperware is because like they get rid of the food, you know, when they stuff that. So like last year, as what I showed you, they had like the beef tenderloins and the fillets. Mm-hmm. And so what I plan on doing is, before they do, hey, put it all in here. And since I'm going on my health kick, I can eat proteins. So I'm just going. I'm gonna eat some steaks. I'm eat them steaks until they gone.
And you know what? You know they don't do nothing but throw them away no way.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. I don't think they have, because they have so many rules around what you can take and actually give to homeless. They have other people that will prepare food, but yeah, so many rules.
Oh, they ain't got to worry. It ain't gonna be nothing left behind.
Well, and that's exactly how it should be. Just get you a little big old tub and go in there and grab them because.
And hold on, just people know I ain't the only one to do it.
Major restaurants, they can give them to soup kitchens, but in that they probably not. It's going in the trash. There's no reason for fillets to go in the trash. So.
All right, well,
I'll be first. Wait a minute. I'm not the only one that does it.
I think we all fat back. Ain't we fat back up in here?
We all off track. We don't went down the menu road. This ain't the cooking show. So all right, let's jump back on. We're gonna talk about cover three topics tonight, right? So we're gonna talk about WNBA news. Some big contracts were signed. Most people know this ain't late breaking, but it's out there. the biggest NFL trade of the week, and then we're gonna go into the NBA playoffs real quick. So let's start off with the NBA news. Darren, Tanisha, we had Asia Wilson first signed a historic contract, and then right after that, you had Aliyah Boston sign one. Asia's 5 million 3 years. Aliyah Boston 6.3 for 4 years. Yeah, I mean, when did you think, or how long did you think it was going to take before you started hearing numbers like that? Which those numbers aren't even crazy.
30 years.
Yeah. But I mean, like, were you prepared for this? I mean, 30 years.
Oh, yeah. Well, no. I mean, so once they signed the CBA, or once they did the CBA extension or whatever, yeah, I mean, it was going to happen right away. It's just going to be a matter of who was going to be first and whether or not there were going to be certain players that would take a quote-unquote discount so the teams could sign other players or more players, because and then if you remember, within the CBA, players are able to get 20% of the salary cap or whatever. So that's how
revenue sharing.
Yeah, revenue sharing.
Yeah.
So that's how Aliyah Boston and the agents, some of them are getting those increases over the next 3 to 4 years. So I mean, it took much longer than expected, but very happy for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what am I missing? Because Breonna Stewart, hers isn't as big.
She may have taken less for the team.
Yeah,
so it's not a matter of.
Okay, she got like 1.1. I'm like, what?
The Supermax.
Some players
decided
to take
less. 1.4. It's Supermax is 1.4. She may have taken a little less.
I think her max deal was 1.1.
But you got to understand who you got on that team. You got her, you got Anescu, and you got Jonquel Jones. So you got an MVP, you got a rookie,
but
whatever.
On the Boston team, who you got?
You got Caitlin Clark, but you don't have to worry about that now. She's on a rookie contract. So you don't have to worry about those players now because they're on rookie contracts. But you want to keep Boston, so you do an extension for her. Right?
Yeah.
And it's just
I mean, I'm a big Stewart fan, so
I mean, Stewie she ain't hurting for she ain't hurting for nothing. But it was just like Sophie Cunningham from Indiana Fever. She was upset. She said she wasn't upset about the money. People mistook what she said. She was upset about the years. They gave her a 1-year contract, and she said she loves the team. She wanted to be there for 3 years. She'll move there, build a home, do these things, and so that's what upset her. But people were saying, "Oh, she was upset about it wasn't the money." So, and I get it. Some of these players want to establish themselves. Alicia Gray.
The Aliyah Boston, to me, the 4 years is gravy train.
Yeah, I mean, what she's making on the side. With other deals, what they're making there. So
6.3, and then whatever she can pop off. Yeah, that to me is the largest deal ever. It's what
it is. I mean, they weren't making this kind of money, but it's still. I was reading that, and then I'm like looking at where they said the first person to sign $100 million contract in the NBA. So that's a big difference, right? $90-something million for that person that signed that first, Supermax. So it's gonna take some years to get there.
I love Aliyah Boston, but I'm looking at Asia's deal, 3 years, 4.7, and
hers is 3 years, $5 million actually. Yeah, but it's
4.7.
Aliyah, with everything in it, hers is $5 million deal. I know what you probably looking at, but it's a $5 million deal. So the difference is the years. Asia locked in for 3. Aliyah locked in for 4.
But 6.3 is so an additional 2. Okay, 2.6.
But if she was you got to do the. We were just talking about that. Do the math. If you do the math, Asia's making more per year, but it doesn't matter. They're both getting paid, so it doesn't matter. But
1.6, 1.6.
Just that we talking millions is good. That players can make it a million, and a rookie deal, because I think I showed that or it might have been on probably last week. What AZ Fudd made, she making more than the last 5. I think it was 4 or 5 rookies, number 1 picks, just by herself.
Makes sense because every time it's going to go up for rookies.
No, I'm saying the last 5 combined. She's making 5, like she's making 7 times what Paige got last year with this new deal. That's how much of a change it is. She's getting $500,000. Paige got 79, something like that. So it's big. It's big for all of the rookies and for everybody coming in. These are big deals. They're not retroactive, so you're not getting money. The rookies got to wait, I guess, and negotiate. Whoever was free agents, they really made out on this. So good for them. I say hats off for them. We're gonna shift over to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Sexy Dexy. He left us. He been talking about it for a while. He wanted out of New York, out of New York, out of New York. I liked him, but he didn't impress me the last couple of years. 7 years there, and his play. He had injuries, but his play is just falling off. And maybe he said he's fired up. We got a number 10 pick for him?
Yeah.
Who do you think made out the best based on what you saw last year or the last 2 years from him?
Well, you don't know how the draft picks are going to turn out for the Giants just yet. So it's a little early on that part.
Okay.
But I think they obviously filled a need or filled a void. The Cincinnati Bengals, obviously with the loss of Trey Hendrickson, because he didn't want to be there any longer. So, and of course, they ended up paying him more than what they would have paid Trey, and I believe he's younger than Trey as well. So it kind of it works out better for the Bengals at this moment because we don't know who the Giants are going to draft and what's going to become of them. So it's respectfully, it's just a little early to say who won it. But I do think at the moment it is better for the Bengals because they're showing to Joe Burrow that we are trying to make moves. For you, whether it's on offense or defense, and trying to improve the defense. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. At least they're telling Joe that listen, we out here, we see everything, we hear the complaints, we serious about what you got going on. So I think it is a little early, but still, I mean, if I'm Joe, I'm like, at least he probably said some stuff in the offseason like, y'all need to get it together. Like, we ain't gonna keep doing this. The window is getting smaller and smaller every year. And so if y'all gonna make some moves, we need to go on and make them. And I love the fact that they kept his receivers the year before. Now they going out there and getting some help. So I don't know. I mean, for me, I think it's a little early, but we'll see.
Yeah.
After the draft, I'm curious. I'm so excited about the draft.
Yeah, I'm curious what the Giants are going to do too, but I think it frees up some money for them to have some other options after the draft if they want to make some trades or pick up some people. So, like I said, I wasn't happy. I was a fan of his for sure, but I just wasn't happy with the play. And he had some criticism. I think that was one of the reasons he was ready to leave New York because there was some of those old pros in there that was saying he ain't giving, what he should be giving. He out there, you dancing, you doing this, and he wasn't performing. You go from like the sacks that he had the year prior, not last year, and then like you getting like 4 or 5, and it's like, come on. And we didn't have we had an up and down roller coaster year, but it wasn't. The defense was not horrible. It's just he just didn't. I guess he didn't perform, and he didn't like the criticism that he was getting from the old heads.
Well, how you feel about Will Anderson?
Oh, he earned his money. He's been earning his money. Yeah.
Every penny.
Yeah.
Every penny.
Yeah, he's a defensive. I mean, that dude on the field, I think if anywhere he go, he's gonna stay in Houston, but anywhere he would play, he'd be that dude.
Earned it. Yeah. I really wish what you about to say, Darren? What you gonna say? He didn't earn it?
I was gonna say I had nothing to do with him. I was gonna say this is a bigger indictment on CJ Stroud than because he was picked right above him, and the fact that they took care of him first versus CJ, says a lot about, as you all talked about, Will Anderson earning it. CJ Stroud, I think, hurt himself. Now, granted, they picked up his 5th-year option, but he hurt himself with his playoff performance. And actually, I think the last 2 games that they didn't play, I think against Pittsburgh and then that game against New England where he had all his turnovers, and it was like, bro, what's really going on? And so he could play himself to where this upcoming season that he could play himself into, a contract extension. But the fact that he took care of Will Anderson first versus him is kind of telling.
Well, I'll say this, and Do you think that someone like CJ Stroud, do they go out and try to get him? Because I'm not saying that he wasn't protected or anything like that to throw the ball, but maybe they feel like they need to get him some more help to allow him to be able to survey the field a little bit longer to make a better decision. Do you go away from him or like that in that sense, or do you start building up and then say to yourself, hey, soon, hey, I might have to do something different, because all I've been hearing is from them is, hey, what hold up, what's going on here?
Wait, back up. What do you mean go away from him? You mean like go away from CJ altogether, or
after this, they picked it up, but
okay.
You see what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
now I'm looking in the future like, because you can't just go grab it. Here's the deal. There's only so many quarterbacks out there. You can't say that CJ, even with him playing
off year.
Yeah, you can't say that you can go just find somebody out there. Who you gonna put it? If let's say let's just say they wouldn't have picked him up. Who are they going to get?
Oh, I agree with you. I think he's a proven commodity that he can do it. So I think his side is an upside, and I think knowing his character, just following him from Ohio State, he's one of those guys that's gonna come out and do everything to improve upon what he did and the mistakes he did last year. You could just see it. It was just, when things happen and it's like it's going wrong, it was like a snowball effect. He just couldn't stop it. You watching the game and it's like a train wreck. You're like, good gosh.
It happens in baseball all the time. You have a guy that haven't made an error, and then he make one, and then next thing you know, he done made three in the same game, and you like, how is that possible?
Yeah.
He hadn't made one all year, but sometimes it's like I said, it's a snowball effect. You get in your head, and then now you can't do the basic thing that you've been doing the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping, or I'm guessing that somebody this offseason was working with him, you know what I mean, to get his confidence back where it needs to be.
Oh, I'm sure they were. He just seems like a dedicated. Go ahead, Darren, because you look like you.
Oh no. I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks that's going to be in that draft next year, which is one of the reasons why teams aren't really trying to trade next year's picks. And if you're Houston, again, you pick up his fifth-year option for this season, and I don't know if it's for this season or for next season. But the thing is, if he don't play well, you can go in a different direction, and it ain't going to cost you as much.
Right.
That's what I was
right. Yeah, because you don't have to pay anything else. So this is a prove it year, but I think he will.
Really is.
Yeah, I think he will prove it, and I think he's got a vibe with the coach. I think they got something there with the coach, but he don't make the final decisions. Of course, you got to start winning.
And I'm a firm believer. The coach can love you to death, but eventually, you got to go. And so we know he's had one rookie, a really good rookie year.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, the coach might like. The coach might like him, but CJ Stroud can also get you fired too. Because again, those last two games.
Okay. Going there, you had a really good rookie year. Then you kind of had a subpar sophomore year. That last year was that playoff.
That year was not even the playoffs. The whole year was kind of suspect. Well, they just never seemed to click.
Well, I'm just saying they made it to the playoffs, so they clicked enough to get there.
Yeah.
But you still got to look at the overall where you started and where you are at that point. And all I'm saying is that I really do feel like CJ got it in him. Like, I don't know, like, you know how they always say, like, when they don't see you the first year and then they go back and they study the film and then they own you the next year. And it seemed like ever since then it's kind of gone down. But I don't think that it's something that can't be corrected, because look at Sam Darnold. You know what I'm saying? Look at people, you know what I'm saying? That you can get back on that drawing board and fix them little as I call them tails, whatever it is that you're doing, and now all of a sudden they know what you're doing and they're able to stop it. So you just got to go back to the drawing board. So I figured he seems like he's the type of kid that would hit it hard in the off season and figure it out.
Yep. I agree.
I just had that feeling about him. I don't know why, but I do.
What?
And I've always loved.
He better.
You say he better?
Like I said, I feel like that he's got that in him. Like when you hear his story and where he got and how he got there, I don't think you just get there and stop. So I think when you hear some adversity, a kid like that is gonna go and they'll figure it out.
I agree with you there, Tanisha. I'm looking at I've been watching this story and I really don't understand it. What's going on in Philly? So AJ Brown may be out, but then there's a lot of controversy going on what you hearing. Like things ain't right in Philly. Are y'all hearing that? I mean, we all hearing it from the outside. So, but when you start hearing a whole bunch of stuff from the outside, then you kind of like, okay, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to remember, AJ used to play for Rabel when they were at Tennessee,
right?
And the owner traded him. He didn't want it. He didn't want him to be traded, but they traded him anyway. And of course, we know the situation with the reporter and Rabel. So a lot of stuff had just been reported. Yeah, I'm saying so. A lot of stuff had just been reported over the last couple of months, and now it's just kind of more so. The trade is probably already official. You just have to wait till June 1st to execute it. So. Okay. I mean, him, I think him being added to the Patriots is going to be good for Drake May. I mean, obviously he replaces Stephon Diggs, but he's going to be much, much, much more involved in the offense than even Diggs was. So I think it's a good move for them. I don't know what Philly's going to get for him compensation wise, but but it's good. It's a good move.
I thought he was free agent.
What I'm saying. If I'm not getting the most,
no, he's not free agent. No, he's not.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm not getting everything in a bag of chips, why would I get rid of them? Okay, so I got you on record. Going over there and y'all go play put golf and get it worked out. I don't care.
You don't want to be there.
You don't want to be there.
About what y'all got going on. Get over there with Jalen. That's your quarterback. Get to talking like T.O. and get over there and play.
Sometimes you just can't make it work. If a player is out in the public saying, I don't want to be here, or showing that they don't want to be here, and there's a bad vibe, and I think there's friction between him and Hurts. It's looked like that for the last 2 years. Give me the ball. He always in his face. At some point, you gotta side with somebody, and they ain't getting rid of Hurts because they just gave him a boatload of money.
Listen, exactly, and guess what? And I got you on the contract. Figure it out.
Unless you ain't gotta play, you can keep him on the contract and he go out there and halfway play.
Unless you're gonna start dropping balls and hurt your stock from going anywhere, and then we're gonna get you on something else because you're out here intentionally dropping balls, or we just turn our game to the next player. You gonna do what I tell you to do. We paid you, we brought you over here, we gave you all that money.
You think it worked like that? It don't work like that.
Yeah,
no, it don't. No, it don't.
Yeah,
Look at Dexter Lawrence. Really I want out of New York. I want out of New York. Where is he? In Cincinnati. That's right.
Dallas don't generally do that.
We don't put Dallas in the conversation with everybody else. Look at what's his name. Where he at? Where Parsons at?
Yeah, but that's because we were gonna get so much for him. AJ ain't no Parsons
and Diggs. We don't know who next.
Well, you know, Diggs got some stuff going on now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if a player is vocal enough and there's that bad blood or that bad vibe in a locker room,
I don't know of any
I think they'll let him go.
That's going on off the field with AJ.
I don't either.
Other than you just unhappy. So what?
Right.
Give him a lollipop. I mean, I don't care. Like you'll be okay. So what? You unhappy, but I'm paying you all the money you asked for when you came over, and I expect you to perform. And guess what? If I'll sit you in the room and be like, the same way they do in any other professional business play. Y'all ain't got to be friends. Y'all just need to be professional.
No, it don't work like that. And we've seen it. It don't work like that. That's how you think it should work because they paid him all that money, but it doesn't work like that.
So he gonna drop balls that come to him?
Hell, he ain't got to play. He can say he injured.
He could.
We'll see how it plays out. But I don't want a player that's gonna be you
talking about because I know you got the Duke mindset, but I'm just saying.
No, I ain't got the Duke mindset. I got the Linda mindset. Well, I don't want you on my team if you don't want to be on my team. Go somewhere else and do that because then you're bringing everybody else down. And I think he's a cancer in that locker room.
I don't know if you're bringing everybody else down. Because I know a lot of teams that have one person on the team acting crazy and everybody just know they're nut.
Okay.
Why everybody else got to come down? Why everybody else got to come down because you have one little diva on your team? That to me, that don't make the whole team come down. Because I know as a matter of fact, I ain't never been on a team that we had one person that was a little special. That if you let him mess your money up, then that's on you. But I can absolutely ignore that clown and go out there and do what I need to do as a job.
Okay.
Let's go. Next.
Darren, any other trades you aware of?
Nah. Obviously, there'll be a whole lot of trades on Thursday though. So
yeah,
see how that takes place.
And who was that we looking at trading up or trading down?
I mean, it could be. I mean, it talks of Kansas City and Arizona, Dallas with everybody, Cleveland with teams are just. I mean, it would just. To me, I ain't gonna lie. I don't never fancy myself for the GM or trying to imagine trades or do this or do that or picks. I sit in the media workroom, I eat my food, and I just wait to see who they pick. Whoever they pick, if they trade or whatever, it is what it is because they're gonna do what they're gonna do, regardless of what I suggest. So I don't even bother.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, because you never know how they're thinking. I done watched too many of them Hard Knocks and everything else and all them other things. They got their mind made up, and you can never really completely.
All right. Well, we know she got storms going on. She popped back in.
Yeah, one of the things I've always wondered, on draft night is how does a team operate when they're, where they may have their eye on a certain player and the team jumps them, drafts that player. Now, I mean, you only got so much time on the clock, so now you got to figure out what your next move, what your next pick is going to be, what your pick is going to be. So I'm always interested to see how that, which is how these trades and stuff take place. That's what gets me excited when I'm watching the draft because I want to see the chessboard moves that these teams have to make immediately.
Yeah, and that's right because sometimes you're sitting there and you're like, oh, they picked him instead of him. Yeah.
Look, I give perfect example. I mean, I've people try to clown me about it, but I really don't care. At that time. At that time in 2017, the Chiefs were coming off another postseason loss. I think that year was to Pittsburgh, and it was a matter of who were they going to draft. We knew they were going to have to draft a quarterback. Right. Deshaun Watson had just won a national title, beating Alabama, and I'm like, hell, Alex Smith, Deshaun Watson. Duh, let's go get Deshaun. And so I'm there in the draft room, and they end up drafting Patrick Mahomes. Now, I cover KU, so I remember him playing Kansas, but I didn't think. But it didn't dawn on me because and the other thing is their team was bad, so it wasn't like Texas team was bad, so it wasn't like he stood out. I'm like, okay. I want somebody who I know has played in the national title game the last 2 years, Heisman Trophy backup, to replace Alex Smith. It was nothing against Patrick. I just didn't know anything about Patrick Mahomes like I knew about Deshaun Watson. So it was just like, but then when they traded him and Andy gave his explanation why, and one of the things I also knew was that they couldn't have drafted Deshaun because if you draft Deshaun, you can't justifiably keep him on the bench over Alex Smith after he just won a national title.
True.
You get Patrick, okay, you can say he's raw, blah, 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 and give that being the reason why, you kind of let him sit behind Alex.
That's a different angle, Darren, that I never even thought about. And that makes that does make sense because they would not have sat whoever drafted Deshaun Watson wasn't going to sit him.
And what he had done. Y'all believe that? Y'all believe that?
It happened, didn't it?
No, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean,
no. So Tanisha, so you had dropped off. So what I was saying was that one of the things that I enjoy about the draft process is seeing the line of sausage get made. Like if a team jumps another team and they take a player that they had number one or whatever, now they got to scramble and you can do next best available. But if another team trades above that, now they take that player. So for me, and I was telling Linda, I said, for me, that's why I don't fancy myself for the GM because I remember in 2017 the Chiefs were coming off of a playoff loss. He had Alex Smith at quarterback, and I was telling her, I said, I knew about Deshaun. I mean, everybody knew about Deshaun because he had played a national title game the last 2 years and just beat Alabama. I said I covered KU football. So I saw Patrick play when they played, but I wasn't like focused on him because I'd seen enough of national games with Deshaun Watson, and Texas Tech wasn't that great, even wasn't that good even his junior year. So for me, I'm thinking winning. I'm just thinking winning right away. And I'm like, we got to look, Deshaun Watson is there, and especially when Chicago, somebody picked Mitchell Trubisky. I'm like, what? And so when the Chiefs are traded up to get him, I'm like, oh shoot, they about to get the shine. So, but when they announced Patrick, I'm like, damn, I know him. I'm like,
everybody went crazy. They were like, how they gonna go get him? And why they get? He don't.
So, I mean, so I told people, I said, yeah. Of course, Chiefs made the right move. I said, I still think they would have won a Super Bowl with Deshaun. Whether or not they won 3 or been to 5, that's a different story. But I still think they would have won. And look, and what I said now is nothing I hadn't said to Patrick, nothing I ain't said to his daddy. I mean, and Big Pat, he understood. He respected. He was like, Deshaun was that dude. I mean, he was.
I 100% agree with you on that. I never the way I thought it should have been always, and I thought Deshaun should have went first just off a proven track record in college. I never thought Mitch Trubisky should have went in front of Patrick.
Yeah,
I thought it should have been Deshaun first. That's the only discrepancy in that 2017 draft that I had, was that they didn't pick Deshaun Watson first, off of just the fact of what he had done in college. Yeah. And had he gone before Patrick wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, and the biggest thing for me is that, and it wouldn't have been the thing of the Chiefs not drafting Deshaun, but I'm like you. The fact that Trubisky was drafted first was like that was just like, bro, you can't be serious. And the fact, and when the Chiefs where they were in the 20s, and then they trade up. So I thought they were trading up to get Deshaun, but obviously as word came out, we knew that the New Orleans Saints and Sean Payton had wanted Patrick, and so the Chiefs jumped in to make sure they could get him. So again, I mean, I love how it played out, obviously, because we've
so being that I was there at the draft, I knew what they were doing when they were doing it, because I knew once Chicago did what they did, I saw Patrick's agents scrambling and going to say, like, what's going on, because that was never the plan from what they thought. And of course, if you've ever been at one of those, player thing, you got several hats from the back. On the back for the teams that have shown interest in you, and you never quite know what the teams are going to do, and then you grab whatever that hat is and you stick it on your head and get extra happy. But literally, once I saw what was going on, the biggest shake was always that from the moment that they picked Mitch Trubisky, it was crazy, because at that point I was watching the agents, and the agents was like, that's not what was being told to them. It was.
That's what Darren was talking about. The switches and everything that change makes everybody shift.
Yeah,
makes teams shift and everything. So everybody.
And every team has the team have every right to change their mind at the last minute.
Yeah,
and I'm just going to say that in that particular draft, that really was a last minute change, or at least what they were thinking it would be, because it was never supposed to go that route. And if you look at that draft, if you can almost see, Mitch is shocked. When he gets picked, he's not even ready. I don't even think that he just had to hop up real quick and go. He's actually shocked. So you never know. That's what makes the draft so special. You're right about that.
That's what we're looking forward to. What are going to be the surprises?
Yeah.
There's some obvious picks, but what are going to be the surprises? That's what I look forward to.
And one last thing before we move on, because people think, and I said even the other show, had Patrick been drafted by Chicago or even Cleveland or some other team, there's no guarantee that we see that we see this Patrick that we see now. So, and that's what I keep telling. Everybody's fortunate or lucky to get drafted where they're drafted to the organization, because he could have been drafted to Chicago, and we saw how that turned out.
Turned out bad for a couple of people, but
that's what I'm saying. So
but it also
have the right structure in place.
Okay,
but it
last point on this. Let's move on.
No, but just say one thing. It is true though what you just said, Darren. I agree with you, because the GM over there came from where? The GM that Chicago have right now.
He came from Kansas City.
No.
Right?
No. We talking about 2017.
I'm
talking about right now. What I'm saying, when you were just talking about, you don't know what you're going to get. If you have something in place where that GM is going to put people in place to help that quarterback, you got a good chance of being successful. And that's wherever you go. Because personally, I think right now Chicago is in a great place to be successful because they have people in place that believe in their quarterback. And when you go in and you putting the people around surrounding that person, they have a good chance. Like you said, I never thought that some of these quarterbacks has gone off to the wayside. I don't think it was their fault. I think it was the fact that they had a team that didn't do what they needed to do to support them. And when you do have a team that's willing to go out and put some people behind you, I think you see good results. Look what Chicago is doing now. And I say that because you have a great quarterback over there, and if that team didn't believe in his talent, he could have been getting beat up like he did his rookie year for a long time. But look what's going on now over there. So I'm just a firm believer that if you believe in the person that you draft and you go surround them with some talent, it generally works out a lot better.
Okay.
Now,
Can't argue there. Can't argue there. Let's move on to the NBA playoffs. So we got some. What's your biggest surprise in the playoffs, Darren?
The Rockets being down 0-2 into the Lakers.
Is it a surprise or is it like?
Well, it's a surprise because Kevin Durant, I think he was doing the pregame shoot around, and then prior to the game, they announced he was going to be he wasn't going to be active for the game, and so I think with that team, it exposed him throughout the season. The fact that they didn't have another point guard to replace Fred VanVleet throughout the season, and it showed in that game because they couldn't run any type of offense, so they couldn't do. And the fact that they actually got it close before the Lakers took the win at the end, so to me that's the biggest surprise so far.
Okay.
Yeah, for you, I mean that's the obvious surprise. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's. I mean, I think it's obvious because, like you said, I mean, I wasn't expecting that.
Okay.
I'm expecting a little, the battle or whatever. I'm shocked, but also, I mean, I'm also happy because I love LeBron. So there it is.
You love who?
I'm happy about that.
You love who?
LeBron.
Oh,
and I love him.
Yeah, my Knicks the other night pissed me off because they gave up a game. I think they should have beat the Hawks in that game. The Sixers, I was surprised. The Celtics came back and got them. I think my most intriguing matchup, some of the games come on late, but I'm interested in the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. How that one's going to work out.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the question. I mean, the question.
Oh, no. I'm switching on you now. That wasn't. You answered my question. I'm kind of pivoting now. So my most intriguing one is Nuggets and Timberwolves. That was my next question.
No, I agree with you there. I mean, I just love those battles. I mean, I watched both games intently, and the fact that now I don't know if you get a chance to stay up late because you were an hour ahead of us.
I know it'd be killing.
I was looking at the game the other night. I'm like, it's almost 12:30 in the morning. I'm sitting thinking like, I know Linda got to be.
What?
I told somebody this afternoon at work. I was like, I'm exhausted. Why am I exhausted? Because I'm watching basketball. It's crazy.
Right.
Funny. Look,
but you can't turn away though because you like it's a playoff.
No, you like. I actually do turn it off and put something on. I'm gonna get you, Darren, and say, okay, that's gonna take me down. And the next thing I'm like, ooh, I pick up the phone. Let
me go sleep. Let me go sleep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like what's the difference? I'm gonna look at the phone. I'm looking at the play-by-play on the phone versus just put it on the TV.
I got too many alerts on my phone to give me peace. It's just steady dinging. I can't turn. I'm just like, Lord have mercy. I'm trying to do something.
My brother, I turned off when the Knicks were up by, I think it was 4 minutes left, something like that. I turned the game off because I said they're getting ready to lose. And I said, I can't watch them lose. I'm going to have to hear about it. But I said, I can't watch them lose. They're going to piss me off. And they did exactly what they played like they were losing. Go ahead, Darren. I cut you off like 5 times.
You know, Linda?
I knew it. I turned the game off because I just couldn't. My soul wouldn't let me. My spirit wouldn't let me. I couldn't sleep. It wouldn't let me watch the loss. I could hear about the loss. And then I was trying not to. I didn't even want to look at my phone. I said, I'll just hear about it in the morning. And my brother, like we have a group chat and it's got a certain ringtone, and he was just in there like whoo whoo. I said, oh man, I said I know they lost. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I knew it was over for us when and I went, but when Wembley, he done fell out, this concussed.
Yeah, he slammed his face on the ground like.
Yeah, that was it for me because I already know what I done been to the Spurs game. I'm here, so my feelings is hurt, but we down, but whatever.
No, serious, it's tied. It's 1-1. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying we down now because he hurt, he concussed.
Kind of clumsy, but that's a whole nother matter.
Yeah,
yeah. You said what now?
He said he clumsy. That's this.
Hey, but you know what though? With to see him live, which I've seen several times now because I'm here in San Antonio. Good Lord, it reminds me so much of like a little bit heavier Manute Bol.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I know that sounds.
He's way more athletic than.
But I want to put him on I want to put him on the beer diet that they put Manute Bol on back in the day. Just to get him some more weight, but dude, he's undeniable, like nasty. Like them arms don't quit. Like it's when you see him live, you just see how lanky he is and everything. It's freaking awesome. But yeah, he got to get his weight up a little bit.
That fall just looked very, very awkward. It was like
it's almost like he hasn't still grown into his body. Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
either. So Darren, with that being said, if he
hold on, I ain't get to say what I was gonna say.
But be gentle. I told them up here in San Antonio, be gentle. Don't go too hard on him.
It's got nothing to do with him at all. No, I was gonna say that watching these playoffs, it's different when the playoffs are being shown on TNT and ESPN because it's on cable. But man, it just hit different watching these games on NBC. You know what I'm saying, on during the week because they only show them on ABC on Saturday nights and Sunday afternoons. But NBC, showing all these primetime games. It's just something about me because growing up in the 80s and 90s, watching the Bulls and the Knicks and when they would play on NBC and in the finals, stuff like that, it just hits differently when I'm watching on these.
The broadcasting is different. The whole broadcasting.
Oh, that too. But it just feels big like the Nuggets and the Wolves of the night because the game was again. First of all, the game came on almost 10 o'clock here, so it's 11 o'clock where you're at, where it's coming on, and the game don't enter well past 12 o'clock, which is way past almost 1:30 your time. But it's like you can't go to sleep because it's like
the news came on early so we could catch the game. Now, when you ever heard of that? When the news coming on early?
Yeah, I was only at Christmas when we tracking Santa.
I mean, yeah. So for me, that's my business. It's like the playoffs feel important because it's on network television.
Exactly. I give you that.
So you got a little nostalgia going on there.
Oh, I know because I was running back. I had this one TV on, this TV on in here, and I was running back, and my nephew with me, Evan here, we was back in there. He watching the game. I'm like, yeah, it feels different. It does. You're right, Larry. It does. It give you that old school feel to it. Yeah, I don't know if I should have told my.
I don't know who got the late games tonight because I'm like,
I don't know if I should have told my age.
The second game is Phoenix and OKC.
And that starts at what time?
8:30.
9:30. Okay. You're 8:30. My 9:30.
Who you got for that though? Who y'all got winning that? That's what I'm about to say. I think we all can agree with that. Are we all in agreement with that?
Yeah. I think they're gonna win that one.
Right. Okay.
I think Nuggets and Timberwolves. I don't know what my Knicks are gonna do. They scare me. Celtics, I think, should pull theirs out. Injury.
Cleveland will probably sweep.
Yeah. Yep. And who else we got over there?
Detroit
Lakers and the Rockets is a little like what's going on there because of injuries.
Well, I mean, I think the Lakers is going to close that out. I don't see a comeback on that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, look, if they at least tie it up, it'll get into a game 6. That might get you Austin Reeves and and Luka Doncic back from that, then it's just like
that's what I'm saying. If we can get Luke, yeah.
What y'all think about? I still think it's too many. What do y'all think about these first round 7 games?
Oh, well, you mean playing that many games?
I'll be the first. I'll be the first to say I'm gonna need Tanisha to start cash apping me because these games are gonna make you broke. You know what I'm saying? Because they go on for 7 games. You go
exactly.
on.
You might not have, but you might not have, but half your starters by the time you get to the
finals, right? I know. Yeah. I'm just saying. I just think. Go ahead, Darren.
No, I was gonna say now. I was saying the one thing that worries me or that bothers me is that even in like these kind of opening games, the first game and like the playing games is like, well, let's go to the first round. These teams, most of these teams had a whole week. Like seeds 1 through 6 had a whole week, and then and then for some reason you come out and you play the way you play. Let's just say, for example, like Detroit, game 1. You had a whole week. Now the flip side is you can say the Orlando Magic have already been in playoff mode, and to an extent that is true because they had to play themselves in. But all these other teams had big wins at home, and here you are, the number 1 seed, and you lay an egg, in the first game. It's like, what are we doing here?
So doesn't that?
Well, I mean,
isn't that's like true for all sports? We say that like with the playoffs. Like some teams, even football, they don't want to bye week. You want to rest maybe and get healthy, but you want to stay in that rhythm.
You want to. That's what I'm saying. You winning, you want to keep winning.
Yeah.
And I don't even necessarily think that. I mean, I don't think that Detroit is. They're like, you know what? Yeah, we drop 1. Let's get it going. I mean, who's picking Orlando to win it?
Nobody in Detroit gonna beat them tonight. So
all right, thank you.
Yeah, they've had a great season. So
that may just be what they needed to get on their horse to get going.
Yeah.
But it was an upset by all means. Somebody wants some money in Vegas.
Oh, that first game. Yeah, they're getting ready to run them out of the gym right now. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. They're getting ready to run them out of the gym. Yep. All right. So all right. Any closing? Let's move to the closing thoughts because I know we got hung up there on football for a minute. What y'all got? Anything?
Mine is gonna still be until we get over this hump. Life is short. Tell the people you love that you love them, and they're going through some tough times or whatever. I got one going through some rough spats right now, and I'm gonna keep on saying it until we can get out of this hole. You know what I'm saying? It don't cost you anything to be kind and tell people you love them. That's mine. I'm gonna keep that until we get out of this hump and I grow hair back. Let's go.
All right, Darren, you got anything?
Trouble don't last always. Weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. I love it. Hey, I can't add nothing to that, but except for to say, please be kind, be blessed. It's free. And until next time, peace. Thank you for tuning in to 2 Gems and a Mic. Be sure to subscribe and follow. Until next time, remember, be kind, be blessed. Peace.